Oh, give thanks unto the Lord, because he is good and his mercies endure forever. This day, I want us to consider Paul's admonition to his son Timothy in 1 Timothy chapter 6 verse 8. I will read from the NLT version. So if we have enough food and clothing, let us be content. Friends, I call you to be content. Be satisfied. Have an inner satisfaction with what God has done for you, with what God is doing for you, and with where God has brought you to. Be satisfied. Paul went further to say in verse 10 of that 1 Timothy, he told him that the love of money is the root of all evil. From the Message Bible, lust for money brings trouble and nothing but trouble. Going down that path, some lose their footing in the faith completely and live to regret it bitterly even after. When you have a strong craving for material things, you may lose your faith. In fact, you may eventually lose your salvation. And so I challenge you to be contented. Greed is ungodly. Covetousness is not of God. It is God's will for you to prosper. 3 John 2 says, Beloved, I wish above all things that thou mayest prosper and be in health, even as thy soul prospereth. But in your pursuit of prosperity, please be contented. What is contentment? The state of being satisfied, to be at ease in one's mind. So I will say contentment has to do with your heart. It's an inward peace, inward satisfaction with your state of life. Irrespective of life situation, you are just satisfied. Hear what Jesus said about contentment. Luke Gospel chapter 12 verse 15. And he said unto them, Take heed and beware of covetousness. For a man's life consists not in the abundance of the things which he possesseth. So invariably, Jesus is saying here that your worth is not dependent on what you have. Then what is your true worth? Your true worth is your ability to be a blessing to lives around you. Please, I encourage you, be contented. Contentment is inward peace in your heart. Even in the midst of a negative situation, as it were, you are not troubled. Your hope, your trust is in God. You have confidence in God that is able to do exceedingly abundantly above what you have asked or imagined. You are just satisfied. That is the state that I want you to begin to operate in now. A state of calmness, a state of satisfaction. Apostle Paul was indeed a man of contentment. He said in Philippians chapter 4 verse 11, Not that I speak in respect of want, for I have learned in whatsoever state I am, therewith to be content. Please, friends, like Apostle Paul, learn to be content. Learn to be satisfied with where you are and with what God is doing with your life. As much as possible, avoid complaining. A contented heart is a heart that does not complain. You don't grumble. You are just satisfied with what God is doing with you, and you are going at your pace. You are not competing with anybody. If you must compete at all, you compete with yourself. You challenge yourself and you look towards a better future, but not bringing yourself under undue pressure because of the success of a neighbor or of a friend. Be satisfied. A contented heart is grateful to God. You are grateful. The Bible says in everything give thanks to God, for this is the will of the Father concerning you. So when you are contented, you are grateful to God. You appreciate Him for what He has done, knowing fully well that He has greater plans for you. This day, I call you to be contented. 1 Timothy 6 verse 6 says, But godliness with contentment is great gain. Be a man of contentment. Let your contentment be in God. Trust the Lord, because the Bible says, For His thoughts for you are good and not of evil. Please be content. The Lord bless you.